Hello and welcome to Make a Mixtape. I am Zach Little.
And I'm Morgan Little.
And I'm here with Morgan for the sequel to, did you know this? One of the most popular episodes of the podcast of all time.
Seriously?
The 2003 mixtape. Yeah, it was a huge hit.
Really?
Yes. If I had known how many people were going to listen to that episode, I would have put clips in the episode. I was being very lazy at the time.
Yeah.
There will be clips in this episode.
Nice.
It's the 2004 mixtape. Morgan and I are going to be counting down our top 10 songs from the year 2004.
Which is, a heavy-hitting year for music.
Incredibly formative for both of us. Think about the fact that in 2004, I was 17 and you were 13.
Yeah.
Those are two big-time pivot ages.
Yeah.
You know, huge.
Well,
and so
I was always like placed a little ahead of my years because of you.
Right. And, we always say on the podcast that those songs, right, 16, 17-year-olds, those are really pivotal songs for you. But also, I think 12, 13, like, for me, that was like the Blink-182 Green Day era when I was 12, 13 years old. So that was formative in a way that I think has mostly been kind of obliterated. But
yeah, me too.
The taste that I formed at this age, 16, 17, has lasted forever. I still listen to these songs.
A lot of them I do as well. I tried to be representative of two different things during my lineup, which was there were so many formative kind of albums that are, what do we call them? Like fire
albums, canonical albums. Yeah.
Whatever, top tier, S tier quality albums.
Yeah.
But there was also a kind of interesting movement at this time of somehow that indie phase was making it to the radio. It was kind of the start of that.
That's
in
true.
some ways. Now, if you look at
Neighborhood Number 4 Power Out was like a radio hit.
Well, I'm thinking even more like one that didn't make my list that is a radio smash from a relatively indie band is Keen, Somewhere Only We Know.
Oh, yeah.
That's a 2004 song.
Right.
And that was like an indie band made it to the radio.
Yeah.
And so there's a very interesting thing. Now, also, looking at the top hits of 2004, oh my God, is it awful. It's
really?
Awful.
I didn't look.
It's awful. It's like Usher, and it's like that Milkshake song, and
oh, sure.
And like bad
is
Usher,
that Khalees?
not like, I don't remember.
She became a chef.
Awesome. That's weird. That's strange. Yeah. I don't know how I feel about that. So there's this weird kind of blend at this point of indie music making it to the radio, indie music being like all of a sudden we're somewhere in between. And the stuff that was crazy popular was garbage.
Right. So like indie music was kind of becoming more mainstream, maybe in part because pop music was really bad, but we were about to enter a new era of pop music. Like mid 2000s, this is like when Lady Gaga starts to turn up, like that's, we're not there yet, but like 2007,
we're not there yet.
Maybe?
Well, I would say that she's got to be pretty close to that because the first time that I heard Lady Gaga was in a college class it was on popular culture. It was just a popular culture analysis class.
Sure.
And it was the video for Telephone Line with her and Beyonce.
Right.
So she had already been trending, and that would have been like 2009, 2010.
Right. I know Bad Romance was 2009 because it was heavily parodied on AFO, our YouTube show. So it had to have existed. That's because funny. We did a whole, I remember Jory having like a plastic bag on his head. I don't remember exactly. Anyway, really important stuff.
Yeah.
Culturally also, here's another thing that's huge. This is when the movies that are like our big deal movies were really starting to hit. I mean, the big, huge one is Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Absolutely.
I am pretty sure I saw that in theaters 3 times in 2004.
That's insane to me, but okay.
Because it would have come out. It came out in February or March, and it was definitely on my radar then. But then the music hall back then was doing the kind of second run thing that they still sometimes do, where a couple months after a movie's had its theatrical run, they would do it over the summer.
It was very popular at the time.
So yeah, Eternal Sunshine ran in the summer at the music hall, and
Sure.
I actually think that Christy and I went twice. So that one. Eternal Sunshine, huge. Sonically, kind of huge. Like, you think about that John Bryan score.
That was a dog. That wasn't me, just in case you guys heard that. John Bryan. That's kind of what I'm getting. That's kind of the thing with the whole indie getting into the popular culture thing, too, is like you had all of a sudden these musicians that were doing very weird and different things becoming more popular through things like scoring movies.
Yeah, and because Focus Features was like, it was the A24 of its day. It used to be when a movie came out that had a Focus Features logo on it, you were like, I
know this is going to be good,
These days, if it says Focus Features, you're like, probably about to see like a historical drama starring Eddie Redmayne.
That's true.
But anyway, a couple other movies from 2004. Primer.
Amazing. Wow. Huge. Was that early?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I Heart Huckabees.
Yes.
John Bryan Double Duty.
Mm-hmm.
Life Aquatic. Wes Anderson kind of, I guess, establishing that both his ability to make hits and his style is not a fluke, right? Like, this is when it becomes clear. Like, no, I'm doing this.
This is my bit.
And Sideways, a great movie about.
It is a great movie. Yeah.
It brought us Paul Giamatti.
It certainly did.
And he's never left us. And will never leave our hearts. So yeah, those were the movies I wrote down.
Well, and also, I mean, think about the fact that we were faced with another term of George W. Bush.
True.
Already things are going terribly.
See, this is why Bright Eyes did not release an album in 2004. I mean, obviously the Lua and Take It Easy singles came out in 2004.
Yep.
But it's really strange to look at the Saddle Creek release calendar and look at 2004 and go like, what was going on?
Yeah.
They were all campaigning for John Kerry.
Yeah, they were campaigning for John Kerry, and George W. Bush got elected, and Maroon 5 was at the top of the charts. So,
Grim times.
Grim times.
Grim times, and we're headed right back. Well, so we were talking before we started recording that we realized, so last time, 2003, there was kind of a miracle in that we had no overlap in our list. It's entirely possible that we will, in fact, there were a few songs that I was like, those are more Morgans, and so I did not put them on my list.
I did a little bit of that too. A little bit of that too.
I'll be very curious to see if the songs I was thinking of will turn up.
So I had to do some real hard editing on this list. I wanted to include so much.
Talk me through your process. What did you do? Did you build a playlist and then start to whittle it down?
Yes, I built a 2004 playlist, but I just started adding everything that was important to me at that time. Mm-hmm. Now, a perfect example that did not make the list is Ambulance LTD. Do you remember that band?
I do remember them. I came across that album. Yes.
Yeah, I love them. I had that album. I was really into it.
Primitive, The Way I Treat You.
Yeah.
That's a great song. And then what's the other one that is, it very much, very strongly recalls the Kinks.
Hang on. Where is it?
I
can't remember. I don't have it written down for some reason. But so what I was going to say is this. By the way, that song, Primitive.
Yeah.
The chorus, the lead into the chorus is relax, don't think about the way I treat you. So
yeah,
maybe not so much anymore. But yeah, that was one of those things where I had to channel my Zach.
Anecdote's the other song. That's the other big Ambulance LTD song.
So I had to channel my Zach and say, what would go on a playlist for me today?
Yeah.
And so I did not include in my 10 Ambulance LTD.
Right. It's a little bit, it's fun to listen to for the nostalgia of that 2004 sound, but you're right. You're not putting it on a mixtape today. And this is something that we kind of arrived at last time in 2003, was that we were like, ultimately, we are making a playlist to listen to in 2024. So that has a bearing on. We're not making this playlist as a 17-year-old and a 13-year-old. We're making it as adults, and so it's a little different.
Yeah, we know what we're we know what we like.
Yeah, it's
and-
sort
and
of a
what
reflection
we
of
listen
our
to from this year.
Yeah, it's sort of a reflection of our past and our present.
Absolutely, 100%. So let me kick us off then.
Sure, give me your number 10.
Okay, so my number 10 is the death rattle of what could have been my favorite band ever if they didn't have only one actual good, perfect album. It is off of the self-titled Phantom Planet album, and the track is Bad Business.
Wow, I'm so glad you picked this. This is one of the songs that I thought would be more of a Morgan
Really?
song.
That's funny.
Yes. Yes, Phantom Planet, Bad Business. I agree. This is a song that I think maybe you and me hold in higher esteem than almost anyone in the world.
Maybe.
But because there were some singles from that Phantom Planet
But
LP.
it's like they don't reach the potential of Phantom Planet.
No, because without Jason Schwartzman, there's a certain melodic sensibility that has gone away.
Yes.
And in some ways that's really interesting, because if you listen to the original Phantom Planet album, which is called The Guest, it is way more Beatlesy, melodic, upbeat.
And it is front to back a perfect album.
Yeah, and Jason Schwartzman was the drummer for the band, and yet he would go on to start another band. It's not the microphones.
Coconut Records.
Coconut Records. Microphone's the song.
Okay.
Coconut Records, West Coast, another good one of theirs.
Yep.
And when you hear Jason Schwartzman singing these songs, you can feel exactly what he was bringing to Phantom Planet.
All right, great.
And this album in 2004, after Jason Schwartzman had left to basically act full time, you hear what's missing.
Right.
And that's a value neutral statement, right? Like the Jason Schwartzman of it all is gone from the band, and that ultimately proved to make them not a successful and lingering force in music. But I really like this album.
Let's just take it to success. This cause is such a mess. And to be honest, forgetting all of us, and it's just bad business.
Well, to also just add to Phantom Planet's importance, right, was the song California was the theme song to the show The OC, which was the biggest show for a really long time.
And it genuinely has an all-time piano hook.
Oh no, it's an amazing song. Yeah. It was kind of ruined by the show because it was like when you hear a theme song a million times, it's no longer interesting to you anymore. It's still a great song.
I only ever kind of like casually watched the OC over your shoulder, so I have very little reference for the whole show.
I was very into the OC.
I've heard people say it still is like really fun to rewatch.
It goes crazy off the rails because like Misha Barton wanted off the show and they like kill her off in a really weird way. I mean, it was very much a soap opera to begin with,
right?
But like it was very grounded at the beginning, and then it slowly gets to the crazy point.
Didn't they kill her off with the isn't that where the Ooh What You Say SNL sketch comes from, or is that from a different person getting shot on the OC?
She doesn't get shot, so so it's got to be something
There's
else.
like an
that's
OC,
a perfect.
yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
But that's a perfect example of how crazy the show goes. Is that you're referencing something else? I think.
Yeah.
I think I don't even remember.
Yeah, that's funny. I don't even know either. It's Dear Sisters, the SNL sketch, but I don't know if it's. I thought there was some OC connection. Who knows? These things are lost to time. No way of looking them up anymore.
No way of looking them up.
Okay. Yeah. Phantom Planet, Bad Business, the post Jason Schwartzman era, short-lived though it was. Mm-hmm. Great song.
I'm pretty sure they're still a band, but
also just a great number 10, like a great kick off the mixtape kind of sound. Yeah. For my number 10 song, we ain't going to the town, we're going to the city. And my pick is Next Exit by Interpol.
Okay.
Their album Antics was released in 2004. I just recently, the 20th anniversary edition of this album came out. I didn't listen to that because I don't have time to listen to everybody's bonus tracks, but I did put the old album back on, and like front to back.
Yeah.
Amazing record.
Interpol's a great band.
I don't think I gave them the credit they deserve for that album at the time because I was so obsessed with Turn on the Bright Lights, and it's cleaner and sharper than Turn on the Bright Lights, and it's like I wanted that reverb and all that echo, and I didn't get it, and so I was kind of, it didn't meet my expectations at the time, but in retrospect, I would probably almost rather listen to Antics than Turn on the Bright Lights. It's so much fun, so good.
Yeah, I could see that, and also production levels a little better.
Yeah, yes, for sure. But that was that was at the time, to a 17-year-old, that was a bad thing.
We ain't going to the town. We're going to the city. Gonna trek this shit around and make this place so hard to be a part of. We ain't going to the.
So I won't. I'm just going to keep going.
Go ahead.
Blast it off.
Yeah.
All right. So number 9. Now, we didn't have a Strokes album this year, you know?
That's true.
But this rock and roll sound was very prominent.
That's
and
absolutely right.
I wanted it represented. And there was one song that I was like, yo, I bet that song came out in 2004. And I went and checked, because this is not a band that we're like, we don't care about this band, okay? But this song I have always loved since it came out. It's off of the album Pawn Shop Hearts by the Von Bondies. Come on, come on.
Yes.
Another day, come on, with these ropes tied, can we do no wrong? Now we grieve, 'cause now it's gone. Things were good when we were young.
Oh my God, the Von Bondies.
Such a good song, dude.
Really good.
It's like, I think that was actually a theme song.
It
for
was.
a
It was
show.
the Dennis Leary firefighter show.
Yeah. I can't remember what it's
Rescue Me.
Rescue Me. There it is. But yeah, like
Another show that became a deranged soap opera the longer it went on.
yeah, that's very true. Like, you know, look at the 2000s, man. The 2000s was weird.
was, yeah.
So that song is just something about it just gets you going.
Yes.
It's like such a fired up song. Just great representative of the rock and roll of the time. That
It's a little bit
was really good.
Yeah, it's a little bit. Obviously, it's the Strokes, like you said, had a huge influence on Phantom Planet too.
Yeah.
But it's also it's kind of edging in that direction of like the Vines too,
Absolutely.
where it's that kind of garage rock sound, but
Yes.
like a little little less controlled than the Strokes.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, almost every band that followed in the wake of the Strokes was less controlled than the Strokes. The Strokes were like, you know, math whizzes.
Yeah,
Basically.
they were. Yeah. Well,
Did you realize? I didn't know that Julian Casablancas wrote everything. That's not something I understood about the Strokes at all.
No, I guess that's not something that I would have understood either.
Because those guys were such like guitar technicians, you wouldn't have really thought that he was the one who was, you know, I'm not saying he wrote every guitar solo, but
Yeah. Interesting.
actually wrote the songs.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, but yeah, doesn't surprise me necessarily.
No, but if I would have guessed, it was more like a national situation where like the band came up with the music and Julian came up with the melodies and the lyrics, you know, but no. It was a Julian Casablancas production.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so my number 9 is from a band that, you know what's really funny is this band also has a song that is used as a theme song to like a podcast that I don't listen to, but I'm always hazily aware of that. Not this song, though. I'm choosing Hold Your Terror Close by the Go Team, which is a song that I really love that is just so 2004 to me. I remember using this. My first ever Christmas video that I edited together in 2006 is set to Hold Your Terror Close. And
Okay, so I must know that song, but I am not placing it right now.
Yeah, you definitely know it, but it's so there it's kind of just like a simple piano part with like a almost childish kind of like vocal part. A lot of Go Team songs are sort of a combination of like samples and beats and like rapping, shouting, you know, or they're just straight instrumental.
Cool.
So their album Thunder Lightning Strike is like a great album to just kind of put on and feel like you've disappeared, you've gone back 20 years in time.
Cool.
But yeah, Hold Your Terror Close, the Go Team, great record.
I love to hear it. I'm especially like because this is such a prominent year for us that I'm like, if I hear of like an album from that year that I don't know, I'm like, oh, I'm definitely going to go back and listen to that.
Here, you'll know it.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, yes. Oh, great song. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Great. Awesome. So
that was my number 9.
that's your number 9. So my number 8. Okay, YouTube was a thing. Streaming music was not.
Right.
We didn't have Spotify top plays, okay?
No.
But guess what? If I had, there would have been number 1 with a bullet. I bought an album that I did not listen back to, like the track by track. I just put it on in my car and I listened to one song over and over and over again. And it is off of the album A Grand Don't Come for Free by UK rapper The Streets. And the song is called Dry Your Eyes.
Okay, I vaguely remember this.
Do you remember that? Dry your eyes, mate.
Yeah.
Don't walk away now. It's over.
Wow, this is a wild card. I like it.
I listened to that song non-stop. And it was one of those things, where you just hit repeat, you know, and just that was all I did. I loved this song.
I think we probably did have iTunes play counts at this time. I remember because
that's true.
Every time you get a new computer, it would be
on
a drag.
Your computer. It would tell you.
Yeah, you lose those stats, but it would track from your iPod too. Like you could plug your iPod in, and it would update the play count, which was pretty cool. But it was funny because it would start to artificially inflate A songs. Once you started to be able to connect them to your car. So, like Actor, Actor Out of Work, the St. Vincent song, that was always really near the top because it was the first song that would come out every time I turned on my car. People always say A-Punk from Vampire Weekend later became that.
Right.
That maybe it was named that way on purpose because it's A-dash. And they knew it would be right at the top.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put that past Ezra Koenig.
Wearing black on designer, math on my mind. Okay, it's a while before I get there, almost past 49. I be on the block easy with a glass full of wine. Red chrome heart lenses to see I'm in my third prime. The Q, U, double E&S. Y'all gon' need some EMS when we drop this, and that's a bet. And I can see the jealousy. I think they really scared of me. Do what I do and let it be. And they still shocked and amazed. I made it up higher. Cause I came up with them hotheads that played with the fire. It's facts.
Okay. So, my number 8 song is from a band that I discovered around this time. And I felt like it took the world a long time to catch up with me. But then kind of the world started liking this band. And now I haven't checked in with them as much as I should. But I love these guys. Animal Collective. The song is called Who Could Win a Rabbit? From, I believe this is called Feels, which is their first sort of proper LP. And, you know, Animal Collective, I think, rose to huge popularity with Merriweather Post Pavilion, which was kind of a much more digital sound. Back in the Who Could Win a Rabbit days, they were really just like floor toms and acoustic guitars and, you know, effects pedals. And I loved it. I loved it then. I love it now. It's kind of a wacky. There's a lot of like screeching and yelling in this song, but it works. They can do it like no other. Animal Collective.
See, I'm not familiar with their back catalog enough. Like Strawberry Jam is the first album that I become aware of them.
Yeah.
And
that was when they really started to get into synthesizers and stuff too. And I do really love Strawberry Jam.
Well, and I like it, but you got a sleeping dog on your couch. It's so cute. So I like it, but I haven't explored enough of their catalog to know. I don't know Feels at all.
This is you probably heard this song. That's one that goes like, hungry bread and butter hustle, you've been doing it a while, it is only fair.
You could sing
Where's the relaxation?
Oh, actually, yeah, you're right. I do know that song. Yeah, you're actually right. I do know that song. I was about to be like, you could literally yell the most popular Animal Collective song at me, and I would still be like, I don't know if I know that.
It's definitely My Girls. That's definitely the number one.
Well, right, probably, and also worth it because that song rocks. So what am I at? 7?
We are now at 7. Yeah.
So mine, I think this album's going to come up on yours later on. This is the first time there's going to be some overlap. And I chose just a representative song of the album because the album is good news for people who love bad news by Modest Spouse. And I picked Black Cadillacs because I love that song.
Yeah.
This generally would be higher because this is an all-time fire album.
It really is.
It's more that they needed to be on my list, and I wanted to make space for what the top of my list is going to be. So I just kind of threw them in here willy-nilly.
Sure.
As like, and especially to bring it back to what we were talking about at the beginning, I remember going into record stores and they would have full displays of Good News for People Who Love Bad News because it immediately was a hit.
Right.
What's the hit?
Float On.
Float On was a huge radio success.
Oh, yeah.
And, they went on Letterman and they like, it's clear that the record company, whoever released this album, I'm not familiar with that, but whoever knew
Sub
it,
Pop.
I think it was probably Sub Pop too, who was doing great kind of things, getting indie music out there, like the Shins. The
at the
Shins
time,
were
it
a
was
Sub
like
Pop band.
Sub Pop, Merge, and Saddle Creek
Yes.
were kind of the three biggies.
But I think Sub Pop was probably the most successful during that period.
Yeah, sure.
Monetarily.
Yeah.
So it was very interesting to see Modest Mouse hit the radar of popular culture, because I wasn't even familiar with Modest Mouse. I think maybe it was our uncle that turned us on to them.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I remember I feel like I heard Float On the radio.
Yeah.
I think Christy bought me this record because I distinctly remember listening to it at our father's house, playing it on Katie's little like stereo thing in the corner.
Yeah.
It had the kind of like clear, it was like the clear
It
plastic.
was nice. It was actually kind of nice.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
had great sound. And I remember just sitting at like the kitchen island and listening to
Yeah.
songs like this and being like, this is something really new.
Yeah.
It had, which is funny because something that'll come up a lot on this list is that 2004 drum beat.
Oh, sure.
Like Float On and everything. So many different variations of that
Very
drum
true.
beat. Very popular at the time. So hearing that, but mixed with the kind of like the big, bold brassiness
Yes.
of Modest Mouse songs.
Yeah.
He wasn't like, Isaac Brock doesn't like yell, he like bellows. You
Yes.
know? And so that was it was so cool and so
Yeah.
different. And I did go back and listen to older Modest Mouse albums and realized afterwards that Good News for People Who Love Bad News is like a gear shifting album.
Yes.
Like
very
they
much so.
definitely changed their sound and style
Yeah.
permanently here.
Yeah.
And it's a great album. One of the best.
One of the best, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what's your number 7?
I'm really clearly in the freak folk section of my playlist here because my number 7 is Inflammatory Writ by Joanna Newsom, which is hard because you can't put this one on Spotify. So, my
Right.
Spotify playlist only have 9 songs on it. But Joanna Newsom, I respect the fact that she has still held out from Spotify. In the time that Joanna Newsom has been holding out from Spotify, Neil Young has taken all of his music off, then caved and gone back.
Yeah.
And Joanna Newsom, unbothered queen.
I respect it, but I don't like it.
I would love to be able to listen to Joanna Newsom songs somewhere other than YouTube when I'm like at work.
I don't know her music because of this.
Yeah, well, I would say that The Milk Eyed Mender, which is her 2004 album, is maybe not the best album to start with in terms of
No, it's got to be the one that goes in a circle, right? It's got to be that one.
Divers. Divers is pretty great. My favorite is probably still East, which is like there's only like 5 songs on
How
it
do you
because they're
spell
so
that?
long. YS.
Mm.
And it was produced by I think his name is Dyke Van Parks. He was like a collaborator with the Beach Boys.
Really?
Yeah.
See, she's so strange and interesting, yet she holds out her catalog from the public.
Well, I mean,
it honestly strikes me as like a little classist, but whatever.
Her full albums are on YouTube. Like you can just
All right.
literally listen to the full album.
Okay.
Honestly, for you, the one you would probably like the best to start with is Have One on Me. It's a triple disc album. It's 2 hours.
Amazing.
But it's great. It's. I mean, every single Joanna Newsom song is great. And the Milk Eyed Mender is kind of her like poppiest, screechiest. Like many singers, she encountered vocal issues after touring on this album and had to have surgery and had to change the way that she sings. So this is the only time you really get the full Joanna Newsom screech. And Inflammatory Writ is one of the most of that.
Oh, where is your inflammatory writ?
It's like this very bouncy, silly piano song. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. It does really work on a playlist too. A lot of Joanna Newsom songs are like 17, 18 minutes long, so that can be hard on a mixtape. But Inflammatory Writ is like 2 minutes, 30 seconds, in and out. So yeah, Joanna Newsom, I love her. She and Andy Samberg have 2 children that are like roughly my children's age. So we need to become friends. Don't know how I'm going to make that happen. But yeah, tell me about your number 6.
My number 6 is, you're going to probably be upset with me that it's at number 6, because I feel like it's probably very high on your list, but maybe I'm wrong. My number 6 is from the album Let It Die by Feist, the perfect song, Mushaboom.
I do love Mushaboom. It's actually not on my list.
Wow, great.
Yeah, Feist is in my honorable mentions.
So the album itself is not my favorite Feist album.
What is it, a reminder?
Yeah.
I think I would say that this album, Let It Die, is my favorite Feist album.
So
yeah.
But the thing is that Mushaboom is a perfect song. It's an all-time banger, forever and ever. Like, when I think about Feist, that's the song my head goes to.
Helping the kids out of their coats, the way the babies haven't been born. Unpacking the bags and setting up, and planted lilacs and buttercups. But in the meantime, I got it hard. Second floor living without a yard.
And you know how a long time ago on the podcast we talked about Conor Oberst's tendency to cover songs helped elevate those artists that he was trying to elevate?
Yep.
Feist is one. I'm pretty sure I found out about Feist because Conor Oberst was starting to cover Mushaboom.
Well, I was going to say, didn't you see her open for him at some point?
I did, but
that was long after.
A year later, in 2005. So I was already a fan of Feist by that point.
Yeah.
And the thing about I've been meaning to kind of dip back into Feist because she was always a live innovator.
Yeah.
She would use looping pedals for a very specific kind of mostly vocal effect. Not for like, it wasn't like so that she could play along with herself. It was like just to create this kind of, a lot of the time, kind of a song closing movement where she would loop her voice and create this big sound. And she has only continued down that path where, like, when you see her now, she's kind of an Andrew Bird type figure where, like, the visuals and the sonic sort of experimentation is all kind of a just in the room type experience. So I've heard that her current tours are, like, really amazing.
Do you see the video she released this year of her in the room where it's like multiple hers?
No, but that sounds exactly like her type of thing.
It very much is.
So she's really gone down that experimental path, and I really love that. I mean, this person wrote 1, 2, 3, 4, which is like one of the biggest, poppiest songs ever.
Yeah.
And she also does this other stuff.
All right, where are we at? Your number 6? All
right. My number 6 is a song that I genuinely almost just impulsively bumped straight up to number 1 because I was listening to different versions of it yesterday. And the only reason it's here and not at number 1 is just because I was never totally satisfied with the studio version of the song. But it's Ambulance by TV on the Radio.
Interesting.
This is, I think, one of the most beautiful... I find it to be a very romantic song. It's one of the most powerful showcases for Tudeh Adebimpe's voice. And I mean, culture is littered with great examples of this guy's voice. And he's releasing a solo album, which is really exciting. But I love this song. But the first time I ever heard this song was, I think it was a Daytrotter session or something like it, or KXP, one of those type of MP3s. And it was like it wasn't a cappella. It was a band version. It was
right.
It was being handled by instruments.
Okay, interesting.
And I fell in love with that, and so because of that, I've had this tension in my relationship with the song Ambulance ever since.
So let's take a very brief moment before I continue on talking about that song. Bring me back if I need to be. Okay, don't let me go too far. Let's briefly talk and say how amazing and important Daytrotter was. And it has completely fallen off the map No one knows what that is now.
Well, they were one of the first people to introduce a paywall, and I think it was too early.
Yeah, it probably killed them because of that.
Yeah.
And they were basically Tiny Desk concerts.
Right.
And
Sort of a mix between Tiny Desk concerts and MP3 blogs.
do you know
which
that
I've
I was
talked about a
invited
lot.
to do a Tiny Desk concert when they were like just getting going?
No, I did not know that.
And they were basically like, if you're ever in Washington, D.C., let's record one.
Huh.
And I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to Washington, D.C., so
Wow.
yeah. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
But anyway, totally, that could have diverged a whole different path for me.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have liked it. But if Chapel Roan has shown me anything, you probably don't want to be famous. But anyway, Day Trotter was so important because they released like 3 songs of a live performance and they gave it to you for free up until the paywall. But
Yep.
But so I got so much music from Day Trotter.
Yeah, and it
in
was
an
it was-
era that people were fighting streaming. you
Right.
know?
I'm trying to remember if there were bands that I sort of discovered that way. Maybe like 2 Gallants.
What's the band that I opened for in Keene that was like amazing?
Gregory Alan Isakov.
No, it's the other one, Local Natives. I think it was Local Natives I
Okay.
discovered because of them, but I can't remember. I might be
Interesting.
wrong.
Yeah, that makes sense. They would be that kind of band.
I did open for Gregory Alan Isakov one time, and now that he performs like with like the Colorado Symphony Orchestra, I'm like, that's wild because that was like 2 years before he or like a year before he really hit.
Yeah.
He already had that album out, the Dandelion Wine album.
Right.
That's like huge.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, so Ambulance was on my list up until yesterday.
Really?
And I removed it because I was like, Zach's going to talk about TV on the radio,
Yeah.
so that space will be taken up.
And I could have done like Young Liars, but
No, Ambulance is an awesome song because
Ambulance
it's so strange.
is the song, and I will recommend. I'll put the link in the bio too. But where did I find this performance? It was Boiler Room, I guess, is the YouTube channel. It's about Festival Disruption. It's TV on the radio performing Ambulance, and it's a full band version of the song.
Interesting.
And it's amazing.
Sip slow from night's deep wells and watch our garden swell. Once the seeds are sown, wild and overgrown, you'll see your heart's colors turned and changed like leaves, like leaves. Oh, sweet, sweet tree, fall for me. Fall fast, fall free, fall for me. 'Cause I will be your accident if you will be my ambulance, and I will be your screech and crash if you will be my crutch and cast, and I will be your one more time if you will be my one last chance. Oh, sweet tree, fall for me.
Wonderful song, beautiful song. One of the best TV on the radio songs, and they have several of some of the best songs of all time. So yeah, that's my number 6, TV on the radio. Talk to me about your number 6.
No, I got my number 6. We need number 5 out of me.
Oh right,
I'm ahead-
sorry. Tell me
I'm
about your
ahead of
number
you.
5. Yeah.
So my number 5 is also representative of the album, and I also felt like you were going to talk about them, so I wanted to talk very specifically about one song.
Okay.
Which is the album More Adventurous by the man Rilo Kiley.
Oh yeah.
I picked for my list, because it is such an important song for me, A Man, Me, Then Jim.
Wonderful song.
Amazing song and heartbreaking.
Yep.
And just, it kind of, all I want to bring forward is Jenny Lewis is a person who I think you told me something that I've carried with me forever and ever and ever when talking about Jenny Lewis's writing, which you said everyone needs an editor.
Yeah.
And that really becomes clear when looking at Jenny Lewis's later career.
Yeah.
Jenny Lewis is off on her own, away from the band, and nothing she has done since has been anywhere near as good as Rilo Kiley, with the exception of the Rabbit Fur Coat album. But the Rabbit Fur Coat album came out right after Rilo Kiley was done, and I think that she had legitimately had something to say with that album. It was kind of
Sure.
her biography album.
I would say, though, that the things that are going to be a problem for Jenny Lewis are also still apparent in that album, even still. Like,
I agree.
there are some lines in that on that album where there are like 4 too many syllables jammed in, you know? And
Yeah.
she just kind of powers through.
Well,
and that habit got worse and worse and worse.
Well, and A Man Me Than Jim is really interesting because the lyrics are perfect, but it's all about the rest of the song, which actually, as time has gone on, we've become more apparent that, like, is basically all Mike Mogus. And his production.
Yeah, like there's a lot of Mike Mogus's touches in there.
But that guitar work out of Blake Sennett on
yeah.
that song, because it's an acoustic sound, which we're not used to with his. He's just got a really interesting way of playing guitar.
Yes, he
and
does.
it comes out full force in this song.
One of those guys who I'm not really sure what he's up to now. I think he does, in the same way that Jason Bazell is kind of like involved with various kind of indie singers in a kind of production, drumming, support role.
Yeah.
I think Blake Sennett's doing that kind of
I
thing.
think Blake Sennett probably has a regular job too.
Yeah, it's possible.
I think that because based upon like his social media presence and stuff, I'm kind of like, it seems like you pop out of nowhere to do some random stuff here and there, but like you probably work a regular gig.
It could be. Yeah. I mean, but what a unique guitar player.
Yeah.
But you're right, both acoustic and electric. Either
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
Blake Sennett, Rilo Kiley. You know, I mean, like I say every time, I think it's not over for Jenny Lewis. I think Jenny Lewis has her whole many years as a singer ahead of her.
I agree.
And it's that kind of thing where maybe in retrospect, some of this stuff will appeal to us more once we kind of see where she's going. But for now, it feels like this trajectory away from that Rilo Kiley sound and style.
Also, Rilo Kiley, where's the reunion?
I know. Well, they're like, it almost feels like they missed the window. You know what I mean? Like
Maybe.
where the year that Jenny Lewis spent on the road with the Postal Service would have been the cha-ching year for Rilo Kiley too.
I don't know, man. We'll
don't
see. Maybe it was I think maybe the market was too flooded then, and they wouldn't have been successful.
I suppose, but like at this point, right now we're 20 years out from More Adventurous. So what are they going to do? An Under the Blacklight reunion tour? You can miss me with that. You know what I mean?
Well, maybe they do a reunion tour based around Under the Blacklight being their last album.
Maybe 5 more years, and when we hit the 25th anniversary of More Adventurous, so
You know, there's still that Moneymaker song's pretty good.
it's all right. Yeah. All right, so my number 5 song is probably the most iconic of the 2004 songs that I've selected from my list. This is a song that's sort of like inarguably had to be on the list.
Okay.
Talking about "Take Me Out" by Franz Ferdinand.
See, I figured you'd put this on here. Yeah.
Yes, I really love Franz Ferdinand. I really love this album. I had so in Christie's car only had a cassette player, so we had a cassette dubbed version of this album, and I'd accidentally taped over like maybe 30 seconds of the first song, Jacqueline. So the tape would always go like, "Jacqueline, she's something," and then just like silence for a little while, and the song would come back in. But like it starts out real slow, and then it kicks into Franz Ferdinand gear for the rest of the album.
Interesting.
So really good overall, really good album. Come On Home, 40 Feet. There's so many great This Fire, so many great songs on there. But I mean, Take Me Out is like inarguable.
Yeah.
That guitar riff, that drum beat,
Yeah.
the momentum of that song.
Well, and it really it kind of strikes me back as what we were talking about before with like that 2000s rock that was really successful.
Yes.
You know, somewhere in between indie and pop music.
And I guess, I said before that nobody was more mathematical than the Strokes, but I think Franz Ferdinand really is. Like, this is as sharp-edged as a song can possibly sound.
Yeah, that's true. Well, very well produced.
Yes, and just, I've actually never seen Franz Ferdinand, but like Yara saw them not long ago, and it's like you see them. I saw videos from her like Instagram story. And it's like, man, those guys can still do it like a metronome,
Yeah.
And they're like they have all these coordinated moves too, where they're like they step back from the microphone, their heads go off to one side, then they come back. It's very slick. They always have been.
That's cool,
and they lean into that.
I like that. Yeah, I support that.
That's Franz Ferdinand. Take Me Out, number 5 on my list. All right, what's your number 4?
Number 4 is another one that's probably going to pop up because it's
We're getting into
very
that
important,
section.
very
Yeah.
important song, right? So, it is off of the Lua single from Bright Eyes, the song Lua. It is a masterpiece. It's an untouchable song forever, and it's a requirement, I think. And when it comes down to it, it's like with Conor Oberst's career, Lua's not a song that I would put on my top list of his songs, I don't think. But the pop culture aspect of Bright Eyes is really important. Where there's a couple of different times where he hit it, and he hit it huge.
Yeah.
And you knew that all the people in the audience that didn't look like you were there for one reason, which was Lua.
To hear Lua or First Day of My Life.
Or First Day of My Life.
But a cool thing about that was that, even among the hardcore Bright Eyes fans like you and me and a lot of other people we know, nobody was mad about that. You know what I mean? We were all like, great. This is so great that Connor got a big hit.
Yeah.
And that'll fuel his
all
expenses.
Bright Eyes fans were rooting for his success the whole time. It was never gatekeeping. There were people that were like that, but the majority of his fans were mostly how come no one else hears what I hear?
Right. Yeah.
So many men stronger than me have thrown their backs out, trying to lift it. But me, I'm not a gamble. You can count on me to split the love I sell you in the evening. By the morning won't exist.
I know I'm very optimistic all the time, but when there was a lot of concern about him last year, or not, a few months ago on social media, I was like, I think he just sometimes has a bad night.
Yeah.
And it's he's always drinking. I've seen him perform where he was very drunk but very good. I've seen him perform where he seemed to be completely sober and was also really good. I've seen him where he seemed to be completely sober and was a little off his game.
Yep.
And I've never seen him where he was really drunk and not able to do, you know what I mean? These shows people were describing. I've heard tell of these kind of shows for 20 years.
Yeah, I know. Me too.
But
yeah.
I have never actually seen one of the 14 times I've seen Conor Oberst.
Yeah.
So I guess that's what supplies my bad night theory.
No, I agree. I totally agree. And I mean, I don't, it's that's the thing with artists like him. It's just he's also constantly outperforming. So you're gonna hit a couple of bad
seemingly
nights, man.
now more than ever too, which is
I agree.
it's so much touring,
Yeah.
which I think is unsustainable for every artist. The amount that they have to tour these days.
Yeah, I agree.
And I'm not sure that he has to, so I'm surprised that he does. But at the same time, nice that if I can get some cash together in April, to be able to go see him in Portland.
I know, right?
So let's see. My number 4. So, by the way, I actually did not put any of the Lua or Take It Easy songs on my list.
Really? Oh, because they're added to another album.
Well, I just thought I would. Yeah, I was kind of I was borrowing
that's a
from
good
the
point.
2005 mixtape.
You
but
kind of
whatever.
are,
but it's okay.
But they came out in 2004. Those two, which it wasn't
know.
very much like a teaser of what was to come. So
Yes.
that's a good argument for it.
I know, but I guess too, when I looked at the list and I saw that there were no Bright Eyes proper albums released in 2004, I could have sworn When the President Talks to God came out in 2004, but it didn't.
Yeah.
I would have put that on the list just for fun.
Yeah.
But anyway, I guess I thought, all right, this is an opportunity to make a list without any Bright Eyes songs because 2005 will be really hard not to put 4.
Yeah, I agree.
So my number 4, you predicted this. It's Ocean Breathes Salty, Modest
Yeah.
Mouse, Good News for People Who Love Bad News. Again, I picked this because I kind of think of this song as an exemplary song from the album that represents a lot of its sound. So,
Yep, sure.
but it's actually almost like there's a very distinct actual side A and side B of Good News for People Who Love Bad News. And I would say that Black Cadillacs represents kind of the side B sound.
Yeah, that's true.
And Ocean Breathes Salty is the side A sound. And the middle one is Bury Me With It, which I almost put on the list instead. Because I've always loved Bury Me
Me
With
too.
It.
But that's the same. Yeah, I agree with you that it's like a Black Cadillac's
Yes,
side.
yeah. So Ocean Breathes Salty. There's just so much there's so much fun in Modest Mouse songs in this era, and that guitar sound that you hear throughout, like Float On, and The World at Large, and Ocean Be Salty. It's very unique to the band. The fact that Johnny Marr from the Smiths, another guitarist who had a very specific shimmery sound, eventually joined Modest Mouse, is like so funny.
Yeah.
It's like it couldn't. There's no better choice.
Yeah, well, and what I like about that sound too is that it's jangly. Like it doesn't sound good,
Right.
But it sounds good for what they're using it with,
Right.
And like that's kind of Modest Mouse's bit, is that they're kind of like us, that they've never spent money on big instruments. It's like more like they've built their own.
Right. I remember seeing them perform on Conan with like this
It was Letterman.
box
It was
Letterman,
Letterman.
with the box
Yeah,
organ thing.
yeah.
It looked like it was made out
And
of
afterwards,
plywood.
Letterman's like, "Did you make that?" And the guy's like, "Yeah." And he's
Yeah.
like, "Amazing." Like,
Yeah. That's so funny. That's such a Letterman thing. All right, so your number 3.
My number 3 is also representative of an album, but it's also one of my favorite songs on the album, so it works. Off of the album Hot Fuss from The Killers, it's All These Things That I've Done.
I was hoping again that you would pick The Killers.
just-
I'm glad you did this instead of Mr. Brightside.
Well, Mr. Brightside, what I think is interesting about Mr. Brightside is, do you know that it has like a untouched 20-year or something record on the UK top charts?
No, I did not know
It's
that.
been like one of the most popular songs in the UK for like 20 years.
Wow.
Like I think that that's so interesting, because it's like, it's a great song. It's a great radio hit. Everybody loves Mr. Brightside when it comes on.
Yeah.
You know? But the thing is that they created something. The Killers are one of my favorite bands. I've been very disappointed with the albums that they have made in recent years.
Post Samstown, basically, or
I mean, there's been some okay stuff, even like the Sawdust one, which is like their...
is that the one that has Human on it?
Oh, no.
Okay, because I remember really not liking Human at first, and then like coming around to it like 6 years later.
Yeah, so I love that album that they have that has Human on it, and I'm unfortunately blanking on the name for the moment, mostly because I'm thinking about their live album that they came out with roughly around that time, that has the same, because it was on that tour. So that one's called Day and Age. That album's
Oh,
called
right.
Day and
Okay,
Age.
Day and
So-
Age. That's pretty good.
So basically everything after Day and Age is awful. So they have 3 perfect albums in my mind. And it's mostly because their sophomore album, Samstown, is one of my all-time favorite albums of anything ever. Like, I love Samstown. I listen to it still all the time. What I think is interesting about All These Things That I've Done is it has so many Easter eggs for where this band is about to head. And like, it's got Springsteen, it's got that pop sound that we're talking about, but then it breaks down into the weirdest breakdown that a pop album can possibly have. I've got soul, but I'm not a soldier.
Yeah,
Which is so strange, but why does it work so good?
it sort of feels like it feels almost like something from the 90s that never happened.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, you can see echoes of it in bands like Paramore and stuff too. They kind of pick up All These Things That I've Done.
Sure.
That style
Absolutely.
of breakdown. But you're right that it's totally bizarre.
If Bruce Springsteen had a song that broke down into I've got soul, but I'm not a soldier, all those middle-aged men in America would be like pumping fists in their trucks
true.
as they drove down the road.
yeah.
First of all, Bruce Springsteen, if you're listening,
Honestly, Bruce Springsteen used to do a cover of a Killer song.
that's exactly what I was about
Yeah.
to say. Wait, is not a cover of a Killer song, a cover of All These Things That I've Done?
He should. He should at his next Vegas show. He should do it.
That would be and you know, I'm sure he has. I'm sure he's covered a Killer song. I also know that he came out during a Killer's performance.
That makes sense.
And they did his songs though. I know that they did Born to Run and stuff. But oh my God, what if they did All These Things? I've got to look it up because
Do you see the video of Bruce Springsteen doing Ghostbusters on Halloween?
No, but that's amazing.
Yeah.
That dude says
great song
wahoo,
for the
and I
Easter
love
band.
that. I love it so much. All right, Zach, your number 3.
My number 3 song is from a monumental album from 2004. This is Wilco, the band Wilco, and the song is Theologians.
Theologians.
Don't know nothing about my soul.
Wow.
Yes, here's why. The bridge on Theologians, the A Ghost is Born part,
Yeah.
is like,
Oh, that's true.
it is so good. And
Yeah.
to me, it feels like the peak of that album.
It's so powerful.
Yes. And
Yeah.
so for that reason alone, it was like in that slot, in that number 3 slot, it's like, that's what you need. You need this huge rising action. And it's incredible. Like when it starts to, when it builds up with that piano part and then like the guitars start like bashing in, man, it's amazing. So I love Theologians.
I'm going away, or you will look for me. Where I'm going, you cannot come. I know all is ever gonna take my life from me. I lay it down, a ghost is born.
So Wilco is one of those bands that I also hold very dear to my heart, but I stopped listening to their newer albums.
Yes.
Around the Wilco, the album, like self-titled one,
Yeah.
that one kind of sucked for me. And I remember specifically walking out of a Wilco show being like, I've seen them enough, which is a weird thing to feel about a band, especially one that's so popular for their live acts.
Sure.
But I literally, the last time I saw them, I walked out and I was like, yeah, I don't need to see this band again, which is interesting. And seeing Jeff Tweedy in real life is like seeing a family member or something because I love him so much.
Yeah.
And you and I have this very specific relationship with him, which is that we watched the documentary for Yankee Hotel Foxtrot before ever hearing the album.
Yeah.
And then from that point on, we were like so invested in this guy and his creative mind. And then it kind of fell off. And that's sad to me. But I mean, those albums are still so important to me. Also, the title of the album, A Ghost is Born, awesome.
Yeah.
And that breakdown, awesome.
That's when they say the name of the album.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's I love that song. I mean, there's so many good ones on this. The
Right.
Late Greats, obviously.
I thought you would pick the Late Greats.
Yeah.
Now, I had, at least that's what you said on this list, up until yesterday. And I removed it to make space for other things. But, you know, what I love about that song is that it's like 2 or 3 minutes of a very quiet, beautiful little one-off thing. And then all of a sudden it explodes into this huge guitar solo.
Right.
And it's amazing and perfect. There's so many great things on this album that I like picking Theologians. That's a good representation of the album itself. Yeah.
I think about Spider's Kid Smoke is
Yeah.
really fun. Used to incredible effect on the bear, a show you don't watch. And then also I always remember, I'm pretty sure it's Hell is Chrome
Yeah.
is in The Wire season 3 or
Oh,
4.
really?
Yeah, it's like a Mayor Carcetti scene, so it's got to be season 3 or 4. But I remember thinking like, oh, Carcetti listens to Wilco.
all those songs are Muzzle of Bees,
Oh yeah.
Handshake Drugs, Company in My Back.
First of all, just great titles.
Great titles.
Great titles,
but
great
songs to go along
Yep.
with them. When I think about that album, it really is like we always put Yankee Hotel Foxtrot as the top album, but it's like they did it again with
Yeah.
A Ghost is Born. You did it again.
It's a lot of people's favorite Wilco album.
A Ghost is Born?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I do not begrudge them that. Mine will still always be Yankee Hotel
Me too,
Foxtrot.
but like we should look at the success of like you did it again.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah. 2 in a row. It's like Lifted and I'm Wide Awake It's Morning.
And I mean even Sky Blue Sky has some amazing tracks on it, but it's not like this good.
Right.
Yeah.
I still listen to What Light a lot.
Yeah, that's a great song.
All right, so let's talk about your number 2. We're getting down to it. Getting right down to it.
From the album All Ears, All Eyes, All the Time.
Oh yeah, all right.
All right. It's the band Piebald. I picked Haven't Tried It.
That's a wonderful song.
this song is a perfect example of like Piebald's comedy.
Yes.
Like it's a funny song in
It's
the
very
way that
wry.
it's crafted. It's very what?
Wry, you know?
Interesting way to describe it.
I haven't tried it, but I think I quite decided I will wake you when you're dead. I haven't tried it, but I think I've quite decided I will wake you when you're dead. And if you mind them, you can just go out and find them. Take all their stuff, pave over the land.
The piano part is so fun,
Yeah.
and the lyrics are fun, and just all about like it's what I think is amazing is when someone can be so like funny in their music while still just being a rock band, you know, or whatever. Like,
Right.
you know, like I always, George Barber one time said to me, he like said that he thought that my writing was really, like he thought that I could be sillier than he was in his writing. And I was like, oh, that's a great compliment. Like,
Yeah.
I like when that happens with people.
Yeah, I do too. I feel like we talked before about like having a hard time with like comedy songs when I was younger, but
Well, but
it's easier now.
Well, I'm not even
it's more
going-
it's more blended too.
but don't even go. Yeah, it's more blended.
yeah, we're not talking about Weird Al.
Right,
Yeah.
right. There's a difference between Flight of the Conchords and what Piebald is doing.
It's like
you
Warren
know?
Zevon,
Yeah, it's like Warren Zevon is
Yeah.
exactly right. Yeah, perfect. Oh, yes.
where there's almost, and this is true of Piebald and Warren Zevon, where the lyrics are kind of funny, but there's also like a little bit of menace to the comedy too.
Yeah.
So that's great. This is such a good album.
Yes,
all
it
ears,
really
all eyes,
is.
all the time.
And I'll tell you, being able to see them on a reunion tour, that was really cool because I had never seen them before.
Right.
And they played all the hits.
I don't know if they did this, so I don't know if they did, haven't tried it, but when I saw them at LaSalle University in like 2006, he had like an electric keyboard in front of him, and he would have his guitar, just like he would sit down and play the piano and then like jump up when it was time to play the guitar. So he had two microphones too.
Yeah.
And this song is really fun for that because
Yes.
there's this part where it basically just like kicks in and he would have you to stand up and start playing the guitar.
Yes.
Really fun to watch.
And yes, he did do that when we saw him. And yeah, they're just one of my favorite bands. I love them so much. But, you know, especially when you see, like, there were a couple of that I almost wanted to go for this album, like The Benefits of Ice Cream.
Sure.
You know, but like this is quintessential Piebald right here.
Especially, it's quintessential Piebald for this album because this was kind of like I've learned to play piano album. Basically, I think I don't know if Travis, what's his last name?
I can't remember.
Anyway, I was gonna say Travis Barker. That's wrong. But
That it sounds it's pretty
Travis
close.
Shettle.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's Shettle.
Okay.
So Travis Shettle. That was like I don't know for sure, but like this happens with bands. It happened with Pup, where like the lead singer of Pup like learned to play the piano.
That was very obvious from that album.
Yeah. Yes. And so, but yeah, there's like literally a song that's like called Four Chords, right?
Three
Yeah.
chords, or whatever it is. Yeah.
So yeah, but this Piebald was a precursor to that.
Absolutely.
Okay, so for my number 2, listen, we already talked and said these guys are dead relatives. They are.
Oh no.
We got to do it though.
Really?
I couldn't make a list without putting Neighborhood number 1 on my list. I love
talk
this
about
song
it.
so much. It's one of the most important songs I've ever heard.
I agree with you.
And there's so much that it did for my brain,
Yeah.
and it still sometimes comes on shuffle,
Mm-hmm.
and I still listen to it
Yeah.
because it's so good. And I do believe that you can separate the art from the artist. I think you have
dangerous
to.
statement, Zach.
I think you have to.
Yeah.
And you know, and I guess I don't know. I have a harder time judging people regardless because
Sure.
because I don't know. So I almost just kind of prefer not to think about it, which I think is I know it's kind of morally bankrupt to do so. Maybe I'm a morally bankrupt person.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't. And let me interrupt you for a second, because the truth of the matter is, when I think it comes down to music and canceling artists, that has to be done on a individual basis because these things are out there no matter what. And for me, it's about how do you feel about how does it feel for you, right? So I will tell you, the first day of school, this is my first year teaching. I was so nervous the night before, I barely slept. And on my way to school, I was trying to assess what my mental health needed. And what my mental health needed that morning was to blare Kanye West in my speakers on my way to work.
Sure.
Kanye West is that artist for me where it's like one of those things where I've purposefully, like, politically chosen to not listen to him, but when it comes down to it, when I listen to Kanye West, I don't feel hurt by him. Ryan Adams, I do not listen to.
Sure.
And I feel like I'm listening to a person that has committed a crime against me when I hear his songs.
Right.
Now, he was one of the most important songwriters ever for me, and I immediately cut it off and said I'm never listening to his music again.
Right.
So if I were black, I'm sure I would feel differently towards Kanye West.
Yeah.
Or maybe not. But when it comes down to it, like, that morning, that's what I needed. And the thing is that I agree with you that Neighborhood Number 1 is maybe one of the most important songs ever for us.
Yeah.
Because we put that album on and it was like, oh my God, music can sound like this.
Yeah. Crazy that it happened. Honestly, it happened twice in 2004. It was Modest Mouse and it was Arcade Fire. And I think I, for the longest time, haven't given Modest Mouse the credit they deserved. And, recent events have, but at the same time, Arcade Fire, canceled in my brain, not canceled in my heart.
Yes.
Neighborhood Number 1 is a beautiful, incredible song. And it's on the mixtape. What are you going to do? It's on the mixtape.
What are you going to do? Well, no, I like that you included it, and I wondered if you would include it. I did not, because me personally, the problem is that, like, Funeral is an album that is like, it stands by itself.
Yeah.
Funeral exists, and then Arcade Fire exists.
Right.
Because they were such a different band by where they're at now.
True. And
so, like, that is almost a time capsule of my life, that album. Because I heard it and I thought to myself, so everything I've thought in my life is wrong. because someone created something sonically that has broken my brain.
Yeah.
The beauty that exists on that
album, your brain and put it back together again.
It exists only in that moment for me. It's very strange.
Well, I think that is kind of, I think that's a nice way of thinking about how we have to reckon with artists who have gone on. There's sort of an increasing number of, and maybe there'll be more artists who come out as like MAGA. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
Like there's going to be stuff that changes it, and it's also a good reason to appreciate the art that you like in the moment as you like it. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, just be more appreciative of it, because you don't know what's going to happen later.
Yeah.
So, talk to me about your number 1. What's your number 1 song on the 2004 mixtape?
Did I do number 2?
You had to have, because I did Neighborhood.
Oh yeah,
number 1.
mine's haven't tried it. All right,
Yeah.
My number 1. What a lackluster end where you're like, oh, tell me your number 1, and I'm like, what? So my number 1 is off of the posthumously released From a Basement on a Hill. It is by Elliott Smith, and I've chosen King's Crossing.
I love King. This is a beautiful song.
Now, you have to sit through about a minute and a half of nothing.
Same with Coast to Coast.
Yeah. So it's about a minute and a half of nothing. It's just like kind of birds chirping. But then all of a sudden, out of the sounds comes this tiny little piano part. Then what happens is every single aspect of Elliott Smith comes full force in this explosion of sound, in that the lyrics are there. They're funny, but they're also cool, and they're kind of punk rock. The sound is super Beatles-ish, which is what we love about Elliott Smith, is he has that kind of just interesting kind of, like, it's so hard to describe when you think things sound like the Beatles,
right?
But like Elliott Smith does.
Well, it has that big, it's like, it has that giant, like, carry that weight Beatles, like that kind of sound.
It has just this explosion of energy and it's sad, but it's also funny, and it's just a perfect. It's right in the middle of the album, and it's Elliott Smith's last album, and you hear his whole career within one song.
Open your parachute and grab your gun, flow down like an almond, a setting sun. Read the part and return at 5. It's a hell of a hole if you can keep it alive. But I don't care if I fuck up. I'm going on a date with a rich white lady. Ain't life great? Give me one good reason not to do it. So do it.
I love when he says, I'm going on a date with a rich white lady.
Yeah.
Isn't life great?
That's like I just recently watched the movie Night Shift, which is about it's Fonz, Henry Winkler,
Yeah.
and Michael Keaton.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that movie.
yeah. Like
Yeah. Dean likes that movie.
I know. That's why I watched it, because I
Yeah.
was like,
Our
Dad
dad.
said he loves this movie.
Yeah.
But it's when they're just talking about the fact that they're like running a brothel out of a morgue, and Michael Keaton says, "Is this a beautiful country or what?"
Yeah.
And so I think about that a lot whenever ain't life great?
There's also tracks that I think would be more, poignantly chosen. Fond Farewell.
Sure.
But like what and like Fond Farewell has a lot of that amazing stuff where like the guitar work is like perfect in it,
Right, but you're right that it doesn't have everything.
But it doesn't have
It's
everything.
not kitchen sink Elliott Smith.
No, and that's what was so great about King's Crossing.
Yeah, and I remember having been introduced to Elliott Smith from the Neil and the Hay era.
Yeah.
I was so surprised later to listen to stuff like Figure 8 and
Yeah.
hear how big that sound could be.
Yeah.
And I loved it. It was so funny because I was obviously so deep into Bright Eyes by then already.
Yeah.
So it was I didn't realize that these other bands were doing this big, all these instruments, all this stuff sound.
Right.
So when I got into Neutral Milk Hotel and Elliott Smith and everything, I was like, wow, cool. It's not just Connor Oberst who's doing this stuff.
Yeah, and I actually think that with Elliott Smith, one of the interesting things about him is there's so much variation that if you're making a playlist of Elliott Smith music, you almost have to make two playlists.
Yeah.
Because one is that quiet acoustic sound that he's amazing at, and then the other one is the big band sound. And
Right.
it's like they almost don't fit together. And like they do within an album, like Figure 8 is a perfect example, or the Son of Sam album. I think it's self-titled, actually. The one where it's like the blue and white where he's
Either or?
jumping in between. No.
XO? I don't know which
Oh.
one's I think Son of Sam is on Figure 8.
Oh, what am I thinking of then?
You're listening to Elliott Smith discography corner.
Yeah. Anyway, well, we can move on.
Yeah,
but
but-
the point is, Elliott Smith, we love him. R.I.P., dude.
My number one choice feeds well into this.
Yeah?
Because it's a song from an album that was written in the wake of Elliott Smith's death. And there's another song on the album, It Just Is, that is directly about Elliott Smith's passing. But I would say that his sort of specter hangs over a lot of music from this time, a lot of great songs. And this is an album that, upon reflection, is, one of the most important albums, of my life. And we talked before about putting on Neighborhood Number 1 and listening to it. That first song, first mood feeling.
Okay.
So
Yep.
my number one song, it's not a hit, it's a holiday. She-Bop, My Baby. We're talking about It's a Hit by Rilo Kiley. This song still gives me an incredible feeling when it
yes.
first comes on.
Yeah.
And
Important first track to
Yes.
an album. Absolutely.
And it's really, I love the kind of syncopation of the song, like the kind of guitar part and the drums and the singing. It's another one that's kind of wryly funny,
Yes.
but also really beautiful. There are so many great songs on More Adventurous, but when I think about this album, this is the song I think of. This is the song to me that is the song that defines the album. It sets the tone and it sets it wonderfully. And I just love this song. I would put it on any mixtape. So I thought it should close out my 2004 mixtape.
I think it's a great song to represent 2004 for sure. And there's so many things that I love about it. Everything that we talked about with Blake Sennett's guitar work for A Man, Me, Then Jim. it's more in this song because it's the electric version of him,
Yep.
which is unparalleled. The dude just absolutely tears this album apart.
Yeah.
He
There's just so much guitar on these songs.
Yes.
It's not like
when
there's
especially this song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like there's one guitar solo. It's like every aspect of what he's doing is so dense and complicated and fun.
And his fills are so like I hate to say this word because it's so overused now, but it's like they are iconic fills.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like where those little trills that he puts in there just add so much color to, you know, what could be a very straightforward rock song then becomes this really complex sound.
Yeah.
Just by his guitar work.
Yeah, just him.
And you know, and you got Jenny Lewis doing her like little come here.
That's on Portions for Foxes.
Oh, that's Portions for Foxes.
Yeah, but still.
But yeah, like when she does her little screams, when she curses, all of those things, I just love it so much.
Yep. One of the all-time great swearers, Jenny Lewis.
Greek for a day and join a sorority or write a tragedy and articulate all that pain, and maybe you'll get paid. But it's a sin when success complains and your writer's block, it don't mean shit. Just throw it against the wall and see what sticks. Gotta write a hit. I think this is it. It's a hit.
So those are our lists, but I know we've already touched on a few things that you kind of removed from the list. Do you have any other honorable mentions?
Oh, let me look, actually. Yes, I do. I will tell you right off the bat. One of the ones that I wanted on here, mostly due to the importance of like it being very of the time.
Sure.
Girl Anachronism by the Dresden Dolls.
Oh my gosh.
Right?
Of course.
Like that only exists at this time. If
You know what's funny is I can't picture that song. I can't hear it. I listen to that song so much, and I know if I put it on, I'd be like, oh, there it is. But right now,
if you put it on, you would be like, there it is.
Yeah. Right now, I've got nothing.
I'm trying to come up with how because the verses are really fast.
Yes.
And she's like, da 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 da. Yeah. No.
It's nothing. It's got. I know. I listen to that song so much.
Well,
and it's gone. I also had Death from Above 1979. What are they? 1975. What is
1975? Yes.
Death from that song. You know, You're a Woman, I'm a Machine. 2004 album.
Okay.
Romantic Rights. That's the song.
I don't know if I can place that right now.
It
just sounds like noise to me.
They got market corrected by Japan Droids. Like they were just another big time bashing drums and guitar or drums and bass in the case of DFA in 1979. I honestly can't remember if it's 1979 or 1975. Romantic Rights.
I Disappear by The Faint came out this year.
Yes.
Wet from Birth came out this year, and we did not talk about The Faint. Shout out to The Faint. You guys are amazing. We love you so much.
A great album that is just another one that's not... It has its own signature sound within itself as an album.
Yeah.
The Faint being like a synthesizer band, but Wet from Birth is primarily like a distorted bass album.
Yeah, and it's not their best album, but it's a good album, and I Disappear is an amazing... I Disappear? That's not right. Is that right?
That's right.
Now that I'm saying it, I'm like, wait, is that on that album?
Yeah.
It's because it feels very much like it should be on the previous album.
Desperate Guys.
Yeah,
Another
Desperate
great
Guys. And isn't the Take Me to the Hospital on that or not?
No, that's only on
That's
Saddle
only
Creek
on
50.
Saddle Creek 50. So that song...
But honestly, Desperate Guys is kind of like Take Me to the Hospital.
Yeah, it is. We already talked about Keen. We did not talk about Tegan and Sarah's album, So Jealous, came out this year.
Oh, Walking with a Ghost?
Walking with a Ghost.
Yeah, okay. How about Loretta Lynn, Portland, Oregon?
No way, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, I wish I'd known that one. That one should have
Van
been
Leer
on my...
Rose. Yeah, that's a great album.
Wait.
Right? Isn't it called Van Leer Rose?
Maybe it is, yeah. You know what I'm mixing it up with? I'm mixing it up with the Maria Taylor album, Teeter Lynn Flower.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so that was a high point for Jack White,
Portland,
too.
Oregon. The last time I checked, it was not on Spotify.
I think it's back.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, good. I'm gonna add it to like every playlist because I love that song so much.
It's really good. Weirdly, Kings of Leon, their
Yeah.
first album, Aha Shake Heartbreak, King of the Rodeo is a really good song.
I don't care about Kings of Leon.
I mean, I don't either, but King of the Rodeo, good
Let
song.
me tell you why I don't like Kings of Leon. Because when they were getting to their biggest popularity, they threw a hissy fit at a festival that they didn't have their own porta potties to use from the other artists. And
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
like a big deal for them and everything. And I was like, you know what? No,
I think
I don't
they-
like that. You're not rock and roll.
They
okay?
were always kind of prima donnas, and I think they also kind of wanted to establish a kind of Liam and Noel Gallagher thing. Like,
Oh, yeah?
like brothers that were like really prickly with each other.
Sure.
And I remember reading like interviews with them in Rolling Stone and being like, I get the vibe these guys are trying to create, and it's just not working.
And you're not Oasis, all right? So
yeah. So, but anyway, I like that song was like, I don't know. I feel like it was big at our college radio station or
I
something.
unabashedly love Oasis.
I don't really know Oasis that well.
I love Oasis.
I mean,
Oasis
I like
rocks,
Supersonic.
dude. Oasis rocks, man. And I like that Liam Gallagher is like a crazy psycho rock and roller.
Yeah, no, I
Who just
I do
goes
too.
out and fights with people on X. And see, I said the right thing. Don't come after me.
I like that it's honestly, I think it's very funny that like there's this Oasis reunion coming along and everybody loves Oasis so much that they're just cheerfully buying tickets to this concert that they're like, might not happen.
Yeah. Well, and I thought it was so funny that Matty Healy, the guy from the 19 now we've
The
thrown in
1975.
1975 is the
Yes.
band, right?
Yep.
Okay. So maybe Death from Above is 1979. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Anyway, Matty Healy was like, in an interview, he was like, imagine being the biggest band in the world and you can't get it together because you're marding with your brother. He used a very British
I was
term.
going to say, who knows
He's a
what the hell
British
that
guy.
means. Yeah.
But he was like, imagine modding with your brother,
Yeah.
like that kind of thing. And then that became like a thing on the internet, like
Right.
where they kept saying stop marding, and like,
And it worked.
and it kind of worked, yeah. But it was funny about it, like I don't know, I'm so invested in the drama
Mm-hmm.
of Liam and Noel Gallagher, who like I think Noel is the jerk, and everyone's like, oh yeah, Liam's the jerk, and it's like, I don't know, I like that he's an open jerk to everyone.
Yeah,
I think it's
yeah.
great.
He is. They are. It is fun to read his tweets, his ex posts. So yeah. Other
So
than
you're
that,
still going to be on the list.
I don't think I had any other ones that were like huge that I could think of. Oh, one more. MF Doom, Accordion.
Oh, sick, dude.
Yeah, I almost put Accordion on the list because I don't know. I guess at this point I've gone so deep down like MF Doom rabbit holes that I don't really know where one song ends and another begins.
Are you on Czarface yet?
Yeah.
Oh god.
And also like
That Czarface albums are so good.
he will reuse lyrics.
Yeah.
And so sometimes it's like I don't even know which song is which.
Yeah.
Like the rap from Accordion, I think he's used like in 4 different places.
Cool.
So it's like
Nothing
yeah,
wrong
I
with
love that
hey,
about him.
You know?
So it's yeah, but anyway, I love MF Doom. Talk about an artist who is entirely his own.
Yeah.
Like Joanna Newsom. It's like a person who just there's no one else who does MF Doom. But
Well, and I love the idea of creating that type of thing as like I'm a supervillain who raps.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
And it's like, but okay, all right, interesting. And he's like, yeah, I'm a bad guy. And you're like, okay, cool, man.
There was an Olympian whose last name was Doom, and someone was pointing out they were tweeting. They were like, "I really wish MF Doom was still alive because he would be getting so much use out of all these sound clips from NBC News of announcers going like, Doom is getting stronger every day."
Yeah. Oh, that's a missed opportunity. Bummer, man. R.I.P. MF Doom. We love you.
R.I.P. MF Doom. We love you. And this was our 2004 mixtape. We did it. Thank you for listening. We'll be back with the 2005 mixtape in 2025.
See you next year.
It's a holiday.